think it's pretty safe to say that you all know by now that I'm a massive Doctor Who fan. And well, in today's video, I'm actually going to be giving you my top 5 favorite TARDIS interiors. So, let's get started with number 5. So, at number 5, I've given it to the wooden TARDIS, which is the 4th Doctor's second console room that I believe was only seen for a handful of episodes. Now, it may not look the best in terms of the actual console itself, but I still like it as it kind of just has like it's a nostalgia really. Like when I saw it as a kid, I instantly fell in love with this interior. And while it may not be the actual best, I still like it enough to actually have it on my list. So that's why it's in the number 5th position. So in fourth spot we have the TARDIS console room that was used by the 5th, 6th, and 7th Doctor, and I just like it. It's the console itself is very 80s, like with all the buttons that you have to press as well as the monitors and all of that. It's definitely very 80s, but it's still, one of the better TARDIS designs out there. Like to me, it's a lot better than the ninth and 10th Doctor's TARDIS, as well as the first iteration of the 11th Doctor's TARDIS, and it's just looks that bit more nicer to me, and it's one of the longest kind of TARDIS console rooms that we actually have. Um, so yeah, that's why I've given it the number 4th spot. Okay, so number 3 does go to Peter Capaldi's TARDIS. Technically, it's a somewhat of a version 2 because, it's constantly been slightly updated throughout his tenure. But yeah, it's definitely the best modern series TARDIS console room that we've ever gotten. Like I said, I don't mind the ninth and 10th Doctor's TARDIS. It is nostalgic for me. The same kind of with the first TARDIS console that the 11th Doctor got. But when he showed in Snowman, when the 11th Doctor showed his new interior, I liked it, and then seeing what it became, with the 12th Doctor, I really really liked it. And as I said, it's the best out of the modern TARDIS consoles that we've had so far, because we haven't really seen what Shooty's TARDIS interior is going to look like. I mean, there's been some leaks, but not a full on reveal yet. So, anyway, let's get on to the top 2. Okay, so number 2 goes to the first Doctor TARDIS interior. I mean, it's one of the most iconic TARDIS interiors. There's been a few, but to a lot of people, this is like an iconic console room, and it's the very first one. I fell in love with it whilst going back over a lot of the classic era of the show, and then of course 10 years ago when An Adventure in Space and Time came out, when they rebuilt the set, the first Doctor TARDIS set for that movie, just seeing it, not only it properly in color, but just seeing the amount of detail that you might not have gotten to see much of back in the when they were filming in the 60s, um made me love this interior that bit much more. And like I said, it's iconic with the rotor, the time rotor being actually, you know, going up and down, and the insides of the time rotor changed, swinging around and all of that stuff. A lot of the later classic TARDISes didn't really do that much for that, and it's just amazing. I genuinely love this design for the console itself, and not only that, but the console room as a whole. It's just very nostalgic and very, very, very nice. I can't like it. I just genuinely love it. And number 1, I have to give it to the Eighth Doctor's TARDIS, which was only seen really once. in the TV movie. My God, when I first seen this, when I first watched the TV movie as a kid, I instantly fell in love with it. I fell in love with the gothic design. I fell in love with how big it is. Like it kind of feels like a home, just with the console itself in the middle. And I just fell in love with this console. And when I was growing up and watching some old Doctor Who figure adventures from Batman March, when he done his 3 season Eighth Doctor series, it just whenever it would show up, the TARDIS interior, I just loved it. And when I rewatched the movie on Blu-ray last year for my review and seeing it again, I just fucking love this. It's always going to be my favorite TARDIS interior, no matter what. It's kind of hard to beat, in my opinion. And I just genuinely love it. I love the gothic aesthetic. I love the look of it. I even love the center console itself. I mean, it's kind of plain and minimalistic. When we actually look at it, there's not too many buttons, but there's just the right amount. And the time rotor, I love the look of the time rotor, and just everything. I genuinely love this iteration of the TARDIS, and I really want to get a hold of the Eagle Moss TARDIS that they made for this. Must do that at some point. But there you guys go. That has been my top 5 favorite TARDIS interiors. Let me know if you want me to do the police boxes as well. And so yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all tomorrow for another monthly pickups video.